Well, here we are. Let's see, what day is it? It's Friday, and I was going to go to Back to Eden Garden, and we got in the car and got started, and then Paul called and we chatted, and we thought, it's a 100% chance of rain, and it's cold. We were all bundled up. I still haven't taken off all my layers, and we decided, let's wait till Sunday. Sunday is supposed to be no rain, so we're going to wait so we can walk around the garden and not all be there shivering and freezing. So how's everybody doing today? TGIF. Yay. Jessie. Hi, Jess. How you doing? I'm going to make cauliflower bisque. Although right away I realized I didn't have 2 pounds. Hi, Karen. I didn't have 2 pounds of cauliflower, so I'm mixing it up a little bit, but for the most part, we got it here. So I got out my 8-quart Instant Pot, and I got things pretty well chopped up because, hi Terry, AJ just puts it all in whole, but I can't fit things if I put them all in whole. So I've got broccoli and cauliflower, 2 pounds, because I used the cauliflower for something else. I can't remember what now, but oops, didn't have it. And then got 2 pounds of ham and yam. Gotta have that.
500 feet, turn right to stay on Virginia Point Road.
My goodness, northeast. My directions are still on to get out there. I think they're off now. I hope. Boy, it's hard to believe that yesterday I was on my bicycle and I did 25 miles and it was beautiful. The sun came out. Today, it's a completely different day. Got a big old white onion. And I got some broth. So I make my own broth. That's about 4 cups. Or a jar full, I should say. And then there's some more for the bisque. And then I got garlic. Got a bunch of garlic. Got to have lots and lots of garlic. Probably why Steven's stomach is always upset, because I put so much garlic and everything. But it tastes so yummy. And we'll never get sick, right? So we got garlic. And then I've got some smoked paprika. I didn't have the dill. Jesse's saying, where are you, Jesse, that you don't have any rain? Somewhere in the South, California? Even with all what we've gotten, and even though we've been declared a national disaster area, we still need more water. Yeah. Well, the areas that are dry, they're so chronically dry. Oh, the central coast of California. Triffin out. Yeah. Well, good for you that you got some rain then. Are you in Sacramento? Well, you don't have to tell me your town you're in, but sometimes I forget that we're online. I see. Shoot. We could have seen you when we were down there, darn it. Capitola. Oh, yeah. Oh, Santa Cruz. Oh, okay. So paprika, I didn't have the dill, so I put in the Provence, the one that Elsbeth loves. And I put in some no salt Costco Kirkland. Oh, yeah. And I got on a chat with Costco and said, where is our no salt seasoning? And I can't remember what she told me, but I said, there's a lot of us that can't tolerate salt. There's a lot of heart disease in the country, and all your spices were full of salt. So she went and talked to the inventory people, and it turns out they're rebranding it, and they're trying to find a different vendor. And so they plan on supplying us with it. They just have to get those things done. And they said it could take a couple of months to get that all set up. But it's coming back for those of us who love the 21 seasonings at Costco, the no salt seasoning. And then instead of the chipotle, I went ahead and just cut up a jalapeno. So there's mustard, nutritional yeast, and milk, and I'm going to show you how I make my milk. But they go in after it cooks. So this doesn't look like there's a heck of a lot of fluid in there. I hope it's going to be okay. But last time I tried to put more fluid in, and it ended up being a soup instead of a bisque. So I'll try this, and if it starts to burn, that's not the right top. Where's the top? Can anybody see it? Usually it's right. Oh, yeah. It's usually right in front of my face. Make sure sometimes everything, the steam comes out everywhere because the seal isn't quite right. Does that happen to you guys? Okay, now you got to give me a second here to look at the recipe. It says, how long do we pressure cook it? Okay. Now I got to find you again. I've got too many things open. So I'm going to pressure cook it for 10 minutes. So there we go. And then meanwhile, I'm going to get the milk ready. So what I do for my milk is I soak my soybeans, and I'm using cannellini beans too. I mix the two, soy and cannellini, just as an experiment right now. And so far, it's been really good. We don't drink the milk. We just use it in oatmeal and in recipes, dressings, bisques, or the soups that call for them. So because we don't need to drink it, I just use the whole bean. So that's what I've got here. I've got some soybeans, and this is the Nutramilk. And I soak them, I steam them, I freeze them in 1.5 cup measures, and then I put them in the freezer. And when I need milk, I just pull them out and thaw them, and then I just toss them in the Nutramilk, and they're ready to go. I just put in 4 cups of water, and it makes me a quart of milk. So, get myself some water here, and we will be all set to go. Yeah, look at that day out there. Actually, it looks just glary from here, but from my perspective of what you're seeing, but it's just a minute ago it was pretty stormy, but it's actually, if you look towards Paulsbo, it's pretty stormy. Oh, you can't see that. Too much glare, but you can't see much even if you didn't have the glare, because it's pretty socked in down there to the north. Okay, so let me get you turned back around. I'll tell you, these carts in a little tiny place like what we've got, these carts come in so handy. So I'm going to just pour this water into the Nutramilk. Oh, no. I don't want to do that yet. First, I want to butter it. I always butter it. Well, that's going to be interesting because usually I don't put any liquid in it first. But we'll see. Okay, so there's the butter button. So I'm just going to, okay. And I'm going to butter it for a minute, and I'll go ahead and mute you guys so you don't have to listen to it. So I'll be right back. Actually, that little bit of water, it mixed much more quickly. All right, so then we'll take this off, and I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the water. You put 3.5 to 4 cups of water. I actually got the recipe from my Vitamix. I used to make it with my Vitamix till I got the Nutramilk. Now I'm going to push on mix and stir it. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so it's mixed. Hi, Annette. Hi, Atomic Poppy. So now I'm just going to push on dispense, and we'll dispense it, and then we'll be done. Every little bit counts. So there we go. Hi, Stephanie. I am making soy milk in the Nutramilk. So what I did is I actually, and now to start a new batch because I'm running out of beans, I make a bunch and I freeze them. And so I've got soybeans soaking in my 6-quart Instant Pot, and then I'll steam them for 15 minutes, and then I will let them cool, and then I'll put them in 1.5 cup measurements in containers and stick them in the freezer. And then when I want to make milk, all I have to do is thaw them and do what I just did. Just butter them and then add water and then mix them and then dispense them. So it's really quick. And I need soy milk for the bisque. So I just made a quart of soy milk. Actually, it's a mixture of soy milk, soybeans, and cannellini beans. So this has to cook for 10 minutes, and then I'll add some mustard, some of the no salt mustard. And there's nutritional yeast in the recipe, but I don't tend to use nutritional yeast, so I will probably skip the nutritional yeast. So I'll just add the mustard, add the milk, and then I got a Vitamix immersion blender. Yes, you can make soy milk in the Vitamix. I got the recipe out of the Vitamix recipe book when I bought the Vitamix. And that's how I used to make it. And so I would steam them and then cool them and then drain them and cool them and then toss them in the Vitamix with 3.5 cups of water, and it makes just a fine milk. Now, like I was saying, I don't strain my milks because I just use it in recipes and dressings, and the thickness actually adds to the creaminess of whatever I'm doing. So, yes, Nutramilk says that you can't do soy because of the way they think that it has to be done, but they just don't think outside the box, whereas I'm always thinking outside the box. So that's what I do. I steam them for 15 minutes, let them cool, and then I throw them in the Nutramilk and butter them for a minute or until they're mixed. And I think I might start adding just a little bit of water because that really buttered them. And then you add the water and you mix them and then you dispense them. Hey, Susanna. Hi. Saying my prayers. So that's how I do it. Oh, and I got to show you my sprouts for today. They're almost tomorrow. I'll bring them out because they're almost ready. And I don't know if you were on the other day, but look, it's just so magic the way they come out. There they are. So, and I mean, they've even filled out more since this morning. So tomorrow morning I'll put them. I'll let them, kind of fill this jar, not kind of, but actually fill the jar, and then tomorrow I'll leave them out on the counter, and I'll show you if we're together making stuff. I was hoping to do the garden today with Paul, but it's just terribly rainy out there. And then of course my next thing is getting my garden set up for the summer, but since I couldn't do that, I thought, oh, I'll come and cook, and maybe some of you will be around, and we can hang out together for a little bit. My sprouts look old, Jesse, because they haven't been chlorophylled yet. So when they haven't been in the sun yet, they're not yet green, and you don't let them green up until the very end. So tomorrow, when I put them out on the counter, they'll be in partial sunlight, and they'll start turning nice and green. And then, oh, not old, I typed good. That's funny. Yeah. And then the next day they'll be really green because I'll stick them right in the window for the last day before I harvest them. So I'll rinse them in the morning and then harvest them later on in the afternoon. So is there anything else I wanted to show you today? What else are we having? I don't think I'm going to make the oatmeal cookies. Cookies are just so easy to eat too many of. I think I'm gonna pass on the oatmeal cookies, but we're really enjoying the cobblers, the cobbler and the crafouti, because we split them into 8 servings, and we do fine with that. And if we're still wanting something, we have an apple or a fresh fruit. But it's really fun to have these treats. We're having more treats with the reboot than we had when we weren't doing the reboot. Oh, yes, Annette. Now the muffins, I make the cram muffins and I freeze them, and they taste so good thawed from the freezer. Whereas the cookies, if you don't eat them right away, they sort of start tasting dry, and I don't know. They just don't seem to freeze well like the muffins do. So we seem to be able to control ourselves with the muffins as long as I put them in the freezer. So you agree too, Jesse? It's just way too easy to eat too many cookies. It sure is, especially, when you're smelling them cook and there's that cinnamon and it's just, it's torture. So I put myself through it. I'm having so much fun doing what we're doing. So yeah, last night I made a curry, and I made it different than I did the first 2. So the curries have really been fun, but I didn't have everything I needed to make the actual curries. So yes, Annette, I had a bike ride yesterday. We did about 25 miles, and I did a few Instagrams to show you guys the little town of Port Gamble, the little town of Paulsbo. And I have to hold my phone when I'm taking a video, but it would be so fun to be able to slowly ride through town and show you the cute little towns that we live near. So I don't know, as I learn how to do this, maybe I'll get to where I can do stuff like that. And if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because there's so much I have to learn. I mean, I don't really know how to edit them, and I'd like to learn, but I'm old, and so I'll learn something and I'll put it together, and then if I don't do it right away again, I forget how I did it. So I got to look it all up again anyway. Yes, Atomic Poppy, I put them in the freezer too so that I don't eat them. And Karen, I don't do Chef AJ desserts. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. Yeah, that's the way I am, except I do the creamies. they're so, just fruit. And I think it helps for Steven and I both to be on it because we sort of compete with each other. And so, uh, and in fact, a lot of times he'll say, let's have more. And I'll say, no, I don't want any more. And so then he doesn't either. And if he did that, if I wanted more and he didn't, I would do the same. I don't know what I would, but we help each other. Annette says, I love visiting cute little towns in the U.S. Yes, me too. Stephanie says, you're not old, Janet. Well, thanks, Stephanie. You don't see me. I think these computers, they hide your wrinkles because, in the Instagram, it sure seemed like I had a lot more wrinkles, but this, do look younger in this thing. So I'll take it. Oh. Susanna's done some nice driving through town videos. Susanna is just pure gold, isn't she? I mean, I just love looking at anything that she does. Jesse, Annette, I'm old too. Annette, I'm older than you, Aunt Jesse. Jesse, I think Zoom hides wrinkles, but I don't think YouTube does. Oh, really? Well, I've got lots of them. I earned every one of them too. Judy, the book that I found the mustard recipe in is, let me go grab it. And this, what I'm doing, I've got the West Spray mustard right now because I'm using it up because I don't need it anymore because I get the recipe. Is it Nissa? Nissa's book. It's her plant-based dips and dressings, and I just love her mustard recipe. Now, some people think that it's too spicy, and she does like spice, but it is, to me, it tastes exactly like mustard. So I recommend something that you try it. And it makes a whole bunch and it lasts forever. Even if she has to say, use it in 3 days, I have it in the refrigerator. It never goes bad. And I'll have it in there for weeks. So So Jessie says to Annette, what? I don't think so. Jessie says, Annette, I'm 70. Pretty Girl's Mom. Hi, Pretty Girl's Mom. That's great that you joined in. Yeah, Pretty Girl's Mom, I've already made the bisque. I made the cauliflower bisque and I used some broccoli because I was out of cauliflower. So it's got to be, come up to speed and cook for 10 minutes. So we probably won't be on that long. But I showed everybody how I made milk in the Nutramilk. So you might be interested with that. And Jessie told me how to replay the chat. So now we can read the chat afterwards in the replay also, which is kind of fun. So Jessie says nothing is too spicy. That's how I feel. Oh dear. I don't know if you guys it's okay to read your stuff or not, but it's just, you're just so cute. I love it. Let me know if you don't want me reading your notes. Net says I'm 62. Well, I'm in the middle of you too. I'm 67. And next month I'll be 68 on March 17th. So there. Oh dear. So, it's a rainy day. What should I do for the rest? I made yummy sauce earlier today. I should have put that on too. I had never made AJ's yummy sauce. And it was on yesterday's menu. And yesterday, since I was riding all day, I didn't get a chance to put it together. So I thought, I'll make the yummy sauce. So as soon as we'd been out, we headed out on the road to go see Paul. And he called when we were just up the street. And so we just did a circle and just came back to the house. And then we're like, oh boy, we can do it's a free day. We can just do whatever we want. So I thought I'll make that yummy sauce. So that's what I did. And it's lemon juice and white beans. And so, I had white beans in the freezer. So I got those out and thawed those. And I get to use my new citrus squeezer, which doesn't really get the edge of the fruit. So I pulled the other thing that I use out of the garbage and washed it all down. And so this gets, the middle just fine. But then there's all that nice, wonderful pulp that squeezes out to the edges. And so then I take it and I just work that off with this. Even though the glass part of it was broken, I can still use this part. So that's what I'm doing. And then I talked to Dennis about my strainer. What did I do with my strainer? Oh, it's right here. And I asked him if he could weld it because Dennis is a friend that's a welder. And he said, sure, he can weld it. So Dennis is going to put my strainer back together. So I'm going to be all set. So I love this little one, and I hadn't even been using it, but now I'm glad I did. So you guys you've taken it off on me. I think we're all fine with you reading our comments out loud. Yes? Oh, good. Let me know if you don't. Atomic Poppy says, St. Patrick's Day. Yes, and I have a twin brother, so both of our birthdays is on St. Patrick's Day. And then Annette, you're saying I love us? Or I love US, since you're in Canada. Yes, Stephanie, I'm very close to Chef AJ's birthday. We're both Pisces. And Karen, you and I are going to be the same age, but I'm a little bit older. Jesse, love the rainy days. So I am the senior here. Do I get some kind of award? Of course you do. What would you like in your award? Let us know. We'll put it right on order. And then you love the pulp. We have one of those plastic thingies too, and they work great. And then Karen Gaylor, November 4th. Oh, that's great that you're letting me know your birthdays. You bet, Judy. Thanks for asking. And then Pretty Girl's Mom. Yes, Jesse, the Oldster Award. Maybe not. Laugh out loud. The Oldster Award. Jesse, tell Dennis not to weld the plastic end of that handle. That's for sure. We don't want the black to get all melted. And then Annette, I remember that about you, Karen Gaylor, in a November baby too. Stephanie, I'm the 28th. 28th of what, Stephanie? The 28th of March or November? Annette, no, I love us, as in all of us. Okay, November, Stephanie. Okay. We got some spring babies and some fall babies. We must be complementary. So this baby's coming up to speed. And the steam is coming out the right spot, just where the little button comes up. So far, no burning. This is typically when it burns, if it's going to burn. Atomic Poppy, July 9th. Oh, we got a summer baby. Man, is it ever cold here. 14 degrees, Pretty Girl's Mom. Where are you? Because here it's, 40s, and I'm cold. Look at me all bundled up. Jesse, Janet, thank you so much for doing these videos. It is so much fun to watch you creating great food in your wonderful kitchen. And I enjoy it so much, Jesse. It's just so great to have everything at my fingertips after having nothing for pretty much the whole year of 2021. It's just been wonderful. And now, I don't know if I showed you guys, but the builder is back. So we're all crowded out again. And I don't know if you can see the plastic. So he's on the other side of that plastic, putting in an extension for our bedroom. So we've moved all of our stuff in here. So our bed is down there. And I mean, that's the only space we have right now. And my little workout room, but that has all my workout stuff in there. So there's not much room for anything else. So it's going to be really cool when we get it all done. 70 degrees in Southern California, Atomic Poppy says. That is just so hard to imagine. Carrot, Stephanie, you're Sagittarius. Yeah, we should tell each other our signs. Hi, Jean. Hello, early December birthday here. It's 3 degrees. Oh my gosh. You guys, when you say that, say where you are. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and I think it's 40. Let's see. What's the temperature here? Let me look it up. Looks like 44 degrees, although it's thinking 47 degrees right now. And it's just so wet that it just chills you to the bone. Jesse says, "Oh my God, now I know those house remodel days, so crazy, squeezing everything into places it doesn't really fit." And then, you have to watch out for all the dust because it'll cover everything. So, and then I got to take every single little thing out and wash it. And, Annette, we have inspection scheduled for February 15th. Yay, we may be in the new house soon. Oh, that's so exciting. We always expected the worst with inspections. And the inspectors were so nice to us. I guess because we were doing it. I guess they're tougher on builders and contractors, making sure they don't take any shortcuts. But of course, we want it done right because we don't want anything to happen to it. So they would come in, look around, say, "Any questions?" And then that would be it. So it was much easier, and we just kept bracing for, okay, now this inspector is going to be tougher. And they were just so kind, and they just helped, and they were very reasonable. But of course, we stuck to all the rules, so there wasn't any problems. So Jesse says 3 degrees is no nostrils freezing and sticking together weather. Boy, that sure is. That's hurt your lungs when you try to go out and have a run. Karen's in Tulsa. That's right, Karen. You told me that before. Jean's in northern Iowa. Hey, Jean, I did the RAGBRAI in Northern Ireland, and that was such a fun ride. I was in Colorado taking care of my mom, and Steven, my sweet husband, he agreed to take care of her while I went and did the RAGBRAI. So my friend Emmy, she flew down to Colorado, and the two of us drove to Iowa and stayed with a friend. And we even stayed with a friend on the way there, a friend in Nebraska. And then we signed up with a charter, and they took us to the ride, and then they let us set up our tent every night. They always had a spot and signs where we could find them. And of course it was really hot, but it was so much fun. You just don't even notice the heat. We really, really enjoyed ourselves. So Stephanie, Colorado Springs, 56 degrees with a feel like 53 today. And that same with us, Janet. My husband, is the contractor. Oh, good, good. And then Jesse says to Stephanie, "I remember Januaries in Colorado being a break in the winter, usually blue sky days with warmer temps, then back to snow in February." Yes. Well, and around here, a lot of times February can warm right up. Like, yesterday that was the first ride I've done of the year. And then March turns wet and cold and chill your bone weather again. And actually, it could stay that way until the end of July around here. Jean, you're the closest to me. I lived in Kansas City for the first 8 years after college. And then Jean, 50th this year. Ooh, the big 5-0. Stephanie, Jesse Bunker Maxwell. Yep, it is nice today, but maybe 2 snow days next week. Oh, the snow returns. And Stephanie, don't you have snow right up through April sometimes? Because it seems to me when we were in Colorado, it was more snowy in March and April than this time of year. And of course, it would melt, but when it snowed, we'd get a foot of snow in Boulder. Hey, Mona, how you doing? Yes, well, I never know when I'm going to be on, so missing the lives would be so simple because I just don't know. Like today was totally unplanned for. Tomic says, "Sounds like a great time," and now I forgot what I was talking about. Or maybe you're talking about somebody else. Jean says we rode several. Use NITC for SAG support. Oh, RAGBRAIs. Yes, RAGBRAIs. Yeah. So NITC, I don't know who that is, but we actually went to the eastern side of the state, and so I chartered with a company from the next state over in Illinois. So Jesse says, I vaguely remember 50. Me either, Jesse. I vaguely remember yesterday, except for the ride. Mona, Mrs. Colorado. Yeah, I really loved it in Colorado too. And yes, snow dumps in March in Colorado. Oh, the 50th Ragbri. Oh, that's this year? Oh, that's going to be fun. Busy, probably. Jesse, we built a Kentucky Derby Day horse in the snow in our yard one year in early May. That's cool. Mona, hey. Janet, love the lives. Me too, Mona. It's so much fun to visit with everybody. Stephanie, yes, and maybe sometimes even into end of May. Wow, I don't know as I ever saw it. Well, maybe I did though, but those are the kinds of things you block out of your memory. Says he remembers it snowing on his birthday, which is in June. Oof. And then Jesse says, I remember snow on the Rocky Mountain peaks all through the summer. Well, that could be possible, huh? Because they're so high. Oh, the Northern Iowa Touring Club, Jean. Oh, okay, got it. Mona, you're 67 tomorrow. So you and I are similar age too. Mad Chef AJ strawberry cheesecake for sharing. Oh, made Chef AJ strawberry cheesecake for sharing. Well, good for you. At least it's a Chef AJ recipe. Stephanie, come back at Mona. I would welcome that. Oh. And then Jean, yes, they want to break a record for the most riders, aiming for 100,000. Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of how many there were the year I did it. I think there were about 19,000. I can't imagine 100,000 because we filled the streets. They didn't even have to close the roads because cars just know, don't get on the roads when this ride's going on. And every once in a while, somebody would accidentally, I'm sure, end up there. And they were just overtaken by bicycles. I mean, they couldn't move because there were just bikes everywhere. I mean, we took up the whole 2 lanes. And there were ambulances every day, but not from cars. I mean, there were just so many riders. Imagine what it'll be like with 100,000. Wow, that is going to be a huge event. Wow, that's cool. So what do we got here? Oh, we only got 4 minutes. I don't know. What do you think? Jesse's asking, how do I heat my home? Look at this. See that little device? That's the heat pump. So that's what we use. And so this is the split model where you've got the inside unit and then you've got the outside unit. And that's why we didn't have heat last year, because we had to move the outside unit because we made our front porch bigger. And when we moved, in order to move it, of course, we had to disconnect the whole thing. And then we needed to wait until we got the porch in to relocate the outside unit. And then the rains came in November of 2021. And so we went all winter without the heat pump. And I did have a plug-in little heater. And thank goodness, and I would put that right next to my bed at night so that I didn't just freeze through the night. But that was something else. And then Stephen would bring me 5-gallon buckets of water. And that was my running water. It's out of a bucket. It was such an adventure. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It was really something, especially now that it's in the past. So do you guys want to wait until till the soup is ready, or what do you want to do? The heat pump does both heat and air conditioning. Yes. Is it damp? It's damp. It's raining all day today. I mean, yes, we're in the Northwest and it's damp from probably off and on. I mean, like we'll have days of rain and then it'll dry up and we might have several days of dry. But I would say until the end of July, there's no telling what the weather's going to bring. July, the end of July, August, September, and sometimes even October are pretty dry. And last year it was very dry. I mean, we just didn't get any rain. So it's amazing how it'll go from, I mean, we've got the rainforest. We've got a lot of different climates in this state because we've got the mountains, we've got the islands, we've got the Puget Sound, the water. We got the Pacific Ocean on one side of us. We got the Olympic Mountains, the Cascade Mountains, the Hoh Rainforest. I mean, I don't even know what they call all the climates, but we've got a bunch of them. So it's really a cool place to be because you can do lots of visiting. So Jesse says, we'd be happy to wait with you, but we can also let you get on to other things so you can eat when the dish is done. Well, actually, it's for dinner. For lunch is the broccoli cauliflower curry. So I just wanted to make it because I had the time. That's right. So the bisque I think needs instant release. Let me look here. I'll look at my recipe. Release pressure. Yeah, I can release it now. So I will. It's just cauliflower and broccoli and those sweet potatoes. But 10 minutes is plenty for the sweet potatoes, wouldn't you say? I'm pretty sure. I'll leave it for a minute and I'll go get my Vitamix immersion blender. It's so cool. Oh. Okay. Has anybody else gotten one of these? Boy, this baby is a powerful machine. Make sure I get this right here. There it is. Okay. So, let me get my diverter. Where's my diverter? There it is. Hiding. You guys these are priceless, aren't they? Oops. There we go. And I made some rice. You want to do some regular brown rice. Yeah, since I can't go out and do the yard, well, I might anyway after lunch. Because I'm still putting wood chips on all my gardens. The immersion blender it's a Vitamix, very powerful. And Tammy was advertising it, Dr. Furman was advertising it, and I tried to order it through Nutmeg, Tammy, and it wouldn't go through. So I went to Furman's site. They both had it on sale for a really good price. So I got it. Mine was giving us a go. So it's just a cheap version. So I spent a little bit more money on this, and it's paying off. Plug this in. This is another really handy thing. I've got plugs lining this wall, so it's nice. I can plug in all my pieces here. And it's not like with this air fryer, I don't even have to take it off the shelf. I can just take this down, put stuff in it, and put it in the air fry it, and the plug goes right into the outlet below. So that's kind of handy. So you don't use one enough, Jesse? I use it all the time. So much handier to be able to stick the blender into the mix rather than pour the mix into a blender. But before I had one, I did. I just used the blender. You don't have to have all these tools, but because Steven in his shop, he has tools, and I just noticed how much more fun he has doing things. So I decided, well, I'm going to try to get a few nice things too and see what it's like. And it's just so nice, especially because I like to do batch cooking, do different things at once. And so I might be using the blender for dressing. I might be using the food processor for a hummus. And then I might be using an Instant Pot or two or three for making a grain and making a soup. And, I'll be doing a lot of the same things at the same time. So I like having access to all this different neat stuff. I use it all, that's for sure. Sometimes I use them all in one day. So your immersion blender is just one of the millions they sell on Amazon. Yeah, that's the first one that I got. And it just made this awful noise like it was sick and that it was going to cut out any minute. And I I just went ahead and got that vitamin. After being without all last winter, I guess I'm spoiling myself a little bit with this other stuff. Come on. This 8-quart pot it's a big pot, so it takes it a while. Look at that, 5 minutes. It's already been it's gonna take it 20 minutes just to let go of all its steam. Ho hum. Get our milk ready. You can see how the milk settles. See that line? I'll just stir it up. Wow. It just mixes right in. You just stir it. We get more phytonutrients, is it, in the soybean? I can't remember. It's so hard to keep straight all these nutrients. It has a power button. Isn't that smooth? I mean, you can hardly even hear it running. Tammy, I've gone too far. Wait a second. I've lost track. Okay, so it's a Vitamix. Okay. Annette, I agree. My husband enjoys his tools, so I use that example to get a Dyson vacuum cleaner. Isn't it nice to have a nice piece of equipment? Jesse says, when mine craps out, we'll treat ourselves to a Vitamix immersion blender. You won't regret it. They're really cool. Mona, Tammy already made me, but the Breville oven. Oh, made you buy the Breville oven and the Vitamix. Yes, well, AJ got me to do the Breville. And then I got the little basket one because she's right. A lot of times we just have something small or something I want to heat up or, just a serving of potatoes for the two of us or the one of us. And we don't need the big Breville. So we use it a lot. It's come in really handy. Tammy and Time find all the best sales. Yeah. In fact, they've turned into more salespeople than cooks and chefs, but they're so entertaining. Karen says, Annette, that works. My husband was the kind that had to buy new clothes if I did. Yeah. Well, we love to go to Goodwill to buy clothes. But because look at us, we're always out in the yard, in the shop, and in the kitchen working. So no sense in getting really nice things. Plus, the Goodwill, they're already broken in. They're already pre-shrunk. And you can get just comfortable, nice clothes. And we're recycling rather than, putting more stress on the environment. Hey, good idea, Mona. For sure, I got the refurbished Vitamix. Works so well. That's great. Yeah, refurbished is a great option. Karen, AJ's gotten me to buy half the appliances I have. Well, me too. I mean, Why not? Mona Jen, I love Goodwill tees. I love Goodwill. I'll get Goodwill skirts and wear them bicycling, um, shorts. Yeah, sleeveless t-shirts that I wear, layer underneath the other ones, the short sleeve and the long sleeve. I love Goodwill. And I mean, even a lot of this stuff in the house, we're just getting temporary stuff because Steven's going to build us everything. And so we go to the Goodwill and we'll get a chair for sometimes $1. I mean, it just depends on if it's been sitting there for a while. So I just love the Goodwill. A lot of this stuff, a lot of it we've given away because we don't have any room anymore, and we don't mind. Give it away and then get more until he can build us something, which ultimately that's what we want. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. You want to see? Mm-hmm. Doesn't that look good? All right, I'm going to add milk. And I'm just going to add all the milk that I made. Why not? Make it creamier. And then add the mustard. Maybe a little bit. Love mustard. I'm definitely a mustard girl. I've got so many sauces. We just love sauces. But sometimes we're just eating so simply, we don't eat them for a while, and they just seem to last forever, which is really great. I don't know why they feel like they got to put salt in everything and ruin it. Contaminate is what I usually say. All right, let's give this a blend. Oh man, that looks really good. My Vitamix cord is getting in there. I'm keeping it on a low speed because I like it a little bit chunky. Let's see what we think here. See what you think. Look at that. Here, I better put some in a bowl. A pretty bowl. Oh, let's put it in this one because then we can really see it. I need a bigger spoon, don't I? I need a little bit of parsley to put on top. Or cilantro. What do you think? Hello.
Yay!
I'm just finishing online. There it is.
Okay.
Doesn't that look good? Smells good too. So that's the bisque. All right, you guys. Onward and upward we go. You have a good day, and I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Get cooking now.